Hello, dog owners out there. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that many of you might have wondered about. When your dog curls up in front of the TV, are they actually watching it or just lingering around for no reason? I used to think that when dogs stared at the TV, they were just drawn to the sounds or moving lights. But that changed when I came across a study published in Scientific Reports. This research analyzed the TV watching behaviors of 453 dogs and used solid data to show us. Dogs aren't just glancing at the TV. They can actually understand what's on screen and even connect the images to real life. Let me start with a question. Have you ever seen your dog's confusing behaviors while watching TV? Like if a puppy runs across the screen, your dog might suddenly stand up, fix its eyes on the TV, and even chase the on-screen dog. Or when it hears a dog bark from the TV, it might tilt its head, perk up its ears, and even bark back. We used to think these were just coincidences, but the study tells us that behind these behaviors, dogs are actively perceiving and responding to the stimuli on TV. First, we need to clarify one basic point. Why can dogs watch TV? Compared to humans, dogs have different visual traits. They're more sensitive to fast-moving objects and see fewer colors, but this doesn't stop them from understanding TV content. The study mentioned that modern TVs have higher resolution and refresh rates, making the images more similar to real-life scenes. This helps dogs recognize 2D TV images as real things in their environment. What's more, sounds from the TV, like dog barks or animal footsteps, are familiar to dogs, and these auditory stimuli further grab their attention. The key part of this study was the creation of the Dog Television Viewing Scale, DTVS, a questionnaire designed for owners to record their dog's TV watching reactions. This scale included 16 questions covering how dogs respond to different images and sounds. For example, whether they stare, wag their tails, or follow along when seeing animals like dogs, cats, or horses on TV, and how they react to sounds like dog barks, car horns, or thunder from the TV. The research team also collected information about the dog's age, breed, gender, and personality traits, such as whether they're usually excitable or prone to nervousness, to figure out which factors influence their TV watching habits. After analyzing the data, the study revealed several fascinating conclusions. Let's break them down one by one. The first conclusion: dogs are most sensitive to animal-related content on TV. Whether it's other dogs, household cats, or less familiar animals like horses or birds, most dogs react noticeably when these appear on screen. Some will stare motionlessly, some will wag their tails, and a few might even bark softly, as if saying hello. Contrast: dogs show much weaker reactions to non-animal content on TV, such as humans, cars, or furniture. Most dogs just glance at these and don't pay long-term attention. This shows that dogs have preferences when watching TV. They care more about images of their own species or other animals, just like how we humans focus more on topics we're interested in when watching documentaries. The second conclusion: some dogs follow moving images on the TV, proving they treat 2D screens as 3D reality. The study found that many dogs exhibit following behaviors. For instance, if a dog runs from left to right across the TV screen, the dog might turn its head to the right or even walk over to the TV and stare at the edge of the screen, as if waiting for the on-screen dog to run out. Some dogs will even circle behind the TV to look for the animal, as if thinking the on-screen creature has hidden back there. This behavior is crucial because it shows dogs aren't just staring blankly. They truly believe the objects on TV are real, and they try to interact with these virtual objects. Previous studies have also found that dogs can understand human commands through videos, and this research further confirms that dogs have a similar ability to associate with reality when it comes to animal images on TV. The third conclusion: a dog's personality affects how it watches TV. This is particularly interesting. The study found that more excitable dogs are more likely to follow moving images. For example, dogs that get excited at the sight of toys or love to rush ahead during walks are also more active while watching TV. They'll follow the movements of animals on screen and even jump up as if trying to join in. On the other hand, dogs that are usually nervous or sensitive to unfamiliar sounds or environments react more strongly to non-animal stimuli on TV. When they hear car horns or thunder from the TV, they might perk up their ears, tense their bodies, or even hide under the sofa, as if perceiving these sounds as real threats. This shows that a dog's TV watching reactions are an extension of its usual personality. There's also a surprising finding. Factors like a dog's age, gender, breed. The study grouped breeds into categories like hounds, herding dogs, and toy dogs, how much TV it usually watches, or whether its owner has taught it to watch TV. None of these affect a dog's TV watching behavior. Whether it's a 3-month-old puppy, or a 10-year-old senior dog, a male or female dog, a Labrador or a poodle, if they're interested in TV, their focus and reaction patterns are roughly the same. This breaks many people's misconceptions. For example, some think puppies like watching TV more, or large dogs pay more attention to TV than small dogs. But the research data tells us these aren't key factors at all. At this point, you might be asking, since dogs can actually watch TV, can we use TV as a distraction for them? Especially when owners are at work and the dog is home alone, would playing a TV show help it feel less lonely? The study mentions this is feasible, but there are a few tips to keep in mind. First, choose the right content. Since dogs are most interested in animal-related content, you can play programs featuring animals like dogs or cats, such as dedicated pet channels or animal segments from nature documentaries. Avoid shows with sudden loud noises or fast-flashing images like action movies or horror films, as these might scare nervous dogs. Second, don't let TV be the only companionship. TV can be an occasional mental stimulant, but it can't replace an owner's company and interaction. What dogs need most is their owner's petting, playtime, and walks. Leaving a dog alone to watch TV for a long time might even make it more dependent on this stimulation and reduce its willingness to engage in independent activities. Additionally, pay attention to your dog's reactions. If your dog seems relaxed while watching TV, wagging its tail, and occasionally following the images, it means it's enjoying the experience. But if it shows signs of nervousness or fear, like hiding, trembling, or barking aggressively at the screen, stop playing the program immediately to avoid causing stress. The significance of this study goes beyond just telling us dogs can watch TV. More importantly, it helps us better understand dogs' perceptual abilities. We used to think dogs' worlds were simple, and they only perceive their surroundings through smell and hearing, but now we realize they can also understand 2D TV images and connect virtual content to reality, showing that dogs' cognitive abilities are more complex than we thought. What's more, these findings can help more dogs. For example, in animal shelters, playing suitable TV programs can serve as mental enrichment to help dogs relieve anxiety and adapt better to their environment. In the future, we can also design more appropriate pet entertainment content based on dogs' preferences. Finally, I want to say that one of the joys of raising a dog is constantly discovering their little secrets, finding out they really watch TV seriously, greet animals on the screen, and get excited or nervous about what's happening on it. Next time your dog curls up in front of the TV, don't think it's just lingering around. Sit down and watch with it. Observe which content it likes, and you might find new ways to interact with your furry friend. If your dog has unique TV watching habits, like only liking certain types of programs or having cute reactions, feel free to share your stories in the comments. Raising a pet is a journey of constant understanding and companionship, and let's all learn to know our furry friends better. That's all for today's sharing. Thank you for listening.